setting up my future quarters, and he had notified me then.
And when was this?
I'm not sure. It was,
Oh, okay.
you know, I'd been planning months ago, so
Okay.
it was a few months ago.
Well, Coach Kelly said he wanted to give you the scholarship to make sure you stayed for the 5th year. Was there an option? Were you thinking maybe of not coming back at all?
Well, I had planned being here for 5 years anyway, so I think it just all worked kind of perfectly.
What does that mean to you to be on scholarship?
I think just for me, most importantly, it's just the recognition. You know, I've been working my butt off since last year. Even before that, I've been doing everything that I can. I think finally earning that recognition means the most to me.
How much different does this year feel in fall camp, knowing that you have that in-game experience under your belt, and that the first game when you went out there to start last year is a new thing to you pretty much,
right?
And now you have that year under your belt.
I think just the confidence, mainly. I understand the dynamic of the game now. I understand like the crowd and all the different variables that come into play when you're in the game. So I think being able to control that and really focus on what I need to do and what the task at hand is has allowed me to play at a faster pace.
Do you kind of tell those things to the younger players, like the freshmen or the transfers who have never felt that crowd noise before?
Yeah, I definitely think I just try to correct that, or try to teach them to learn from my own mistakes. You know, I've definitely been through a lot of uncomfortable situations, so everything that I've been through, I've tried to help them and stray them away from that so that they don't go through those same mistakes.
How do you think the receivers are coming together? You guys are looking for a lot of new pieces this year.
Right. I think we're doing really well. We're playing really fast, and I think that's the main thing right now is we're trying to get a lot of information to those guys really quickly. You know, we play in less than a month, so there's not really that much time for them to learn. But as far as learning the offense, I think Mike and DeLon are doing a really good job.
Which of the young guys have kind of stood out to you so far?
I think both Mike and DeLon are doing really good, and Kyle too. It's funny, we were just talking, it feels like every time Kyle goes out there for a pass, like the defense is colliding with him. But I think Mike is definitely going to be a threat down the field because he's so big, and DeLon is just a workhorse.
What do you see from Devin Asiasi in the offense? I know he's not in your position group, but just when he's out there, what does he bring to the table?
I think him, Caleb, and really all the tight ends, I think they mesh really well. They're really connected as brothers, so I think on the field they're going to have that confidence to play with each other and kind of bounce energy from one another and play, you know, at the same level.
You guys have 5 different quarterbacks kind of fighting for that top spot. But for you as a receiver, how do you go about developing chemistry with those guys, not knowing who's going to end up being the starter?
I think just off the field is mainly just trying to get comfortable with all of them. I think their group actually does a really good job of sticking together. I notice at training table and even off the field when they go home, they're always hanging out together. So I think trying to bond with them and build that brotherhood with them cohesively, so that, you know, when we translate to the field, there's no difference.
You mentioned in spring that Coach was stressing transitioning. How has that developed?
I think it just needs to become second nature, where we're not thinking about it, and I think definitely from spring, I think we can see a lot of guys have started to, you know, adopt that mindset of just transitioning and quickly being able to, you know, if you don't have the ball in your hands, transitioning to blocking or transitioning to getting a better angle to make a play down the field.
I feel like this offense is a good fit for you.
I think so, definitely. I think, you know, when I first came here, it was kind of that similar tempo style offense, and so when we had transitioned from that kind of offense to Coach Fish, it definitely slowed down a bit, but I still kind of try to keep that same mentality of just pushing the tempo. And now that we're back going to that tempo, I don't think I'm out of my comfort zone at all.
How much faster is this tempo versus Mazzone and Fish's?
It's definitely a lot faster, but I think the strength staff has done a really good job of keeping us in shape throughout the offseason.
Have the coaches told you that they have like a specific time you want to get each playoff, and like how fast exactly are you guys trying to go?
I don't think we really set a time. It's just, you know, we're just going as fast as we can, really.
You were here when Josh was kind of a true freshman vying for that starting spot. You have another true freshman quarterback competing. Is there any similarity you see in terms of their mentality between Josh and Dorian?
I think they're both very hungry. You know, Dorian, obviously, he wants to play. He's coming from a really good school, coming out of high school, so he's definitely used to being that star role. So I think coming in here, he's trying to do that same thing. He's trying to take that leadership role.
Being a true freshman with only 1 year of starting experience, does he look like that, or does he look like somebody who has got more experience based on his talent and what he's able to do out here?
I think he has a lot of experience, definitely a lot of talent too, and I think the skill set that he has makes it a lot easier for him to transition into the college football, you know, aspect of it, because he's already very athletic.
A lot of people were saying when Josh was here, he has some of the wow throws, or the throws that make him, you know, why he's a 5-star. Has Dorian made some of those plays since he's been here?
I think he's made a couple, but I think that kind of just comes with it being a young kid, being a little bit inexperienced. He's just got to get used to making those kind of throws.
the speed at which practice goes, it seems like there's just not a lot of time to stop and get coached. So how does that affect kind of what you guys go through meetings, and how do you get coached on tape?
Well, we're on the field. It's a lot of self-coaching, so you really got to pay attention to what you're doing, and you got to listen to other players too. I try to do as much as I can to help the younger guys out, and if I tell them if they see something that I'm not doing right, correct me on that. And even from other positions, Caleb does a really good job of making sure that we're on top of our game, always telling us, hey, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. And then when we get into the film, it's just repetitive. We go over the same plays multiple times, so we reiterate the same coaching points so that when we get on the field, we're not going through those same coaching points over and over.